What's up, guys? It's Mr. Javid, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. We're going to be using Hatterene today, something that's hella underrated, and Bandit Cinderace, something I use to dismantle everybody in pre-DLC, pre-Crown Tundra, I should say, from Breeze Man. So I'm excited to get that another world, plus a couple mods that I never really use. So I'm excited to give that a shot. But before we do, I want to shout out the team builder himself. My man recently hit. He recently hit 2002, 2000. So he's close to number one. He had taken an 8-month hiatus from the game, and so he was pretty much just saying, from the podcast episodes, he realized what I meant when I was talking about not identifying with your points. Super common thing. I have shout outs for days if I had to go on how many times I had to. You're joking. You can't be serious. Alright, so he's at 2020. This is bittersweet. This is bittersweet for a couple of reasons. One, this is the creator of the team. Two, if he wins, if I beat him, I was just giving him a shout out. But hey, this is gonna be fun because his Kyurem is a problem if he plays well. My Cinder is a problem, but his is jolly. I'm pretty sure mine's not. And then I'm gonna aim to mess him up with Rillaboom in the late game. So let's see. Hatterene. Landorus core purpose is guard against his Lando and his Cinderace. Primarily, Magearna is for his Mag. Kyurem and Hatterene doesn't. Cinderace can't be guarded against. Get that in as often as possible. Overwhelmed with those two. He guards the worst against Cinderace, so that's never something he'd start the game off with. So I'd assume Lander is going to be his initial. So what I'll do is Cinderace. Landers makes sense. Basically, I'm gonna put him in a position where he has to either commit to the Landorus standing. He could knock if he wants, but he'd never. Alright, I put on. So pretty obvious Kyurem switch here. I mean Magearna switch here, but very little drawback for me. Yeah, this is why I figured you should attack there. There's very little drawback, and so he should go to his Magearna here, which allows for me to position my Cinderace. And so now we start getting to overwhelm this Landorus. So he's Choice Scarf. He switched to Magearna, so he's not a Soul Vest anymore. And that Hydreigon does not enjoy that hit. Interesting. If he's Choice Scarf, then I get to Flora here. His Mag is irrelevant to me. Which means he's gonna trick here. So be it. He never Volt Switch, so I'll Volt Switch back. Knockoff comes out. It's just a question of what I want, because he changed some of his sets and I changed some of my sets. So Rocks plus Hydreigon goes a long way. Obviously he's not gonna want Rocks up. But if he knocks off my Landorus' item, it puts me in an awkward spot. My Hydreigon is okay. I mean, it's not amazing. I don't want to give him my Lando's item. Not versus Band Cinderace. So I'll just go Hydreigon. If he U-turns positionally, because I figured Knock was going to come out there. So this gives me a free pulse. It doesn't make much sense for him to leave this in. Should just go to his own Hydreigon. But as I said, this isn't a situation where he has the advantage. Of course, he has leftovers, but beyond that, it's not really that great. As we get to Earth Power here, covers Magearna coming in. He can't touch me, and he sees the same situation too. We just Dart Pulse here as Hatterene makes a play. Hatterene's a funny mon. can't guard well against Boom, especially Woodhammer. So Kiram, then this. Okay, so pivot Lando here. Covers all my bases. Figured he'd side shock. It just makes a lot of sense. He should switch to Lando here, but yeah, okay, excellent. And so now with the Rocky helmet gone, it doesn't truly matter, but this is an important turn for both of us, because if I knock, he doesn't know I don't have U-turn. So if I don't want to play this out. So basically, if he loses the speed tie and I U-turn, so if I were my opponent, I'd hard switch back to Hatterene here. I'd hard switch back to Hatterene, yeah. It was just a very no drawback play. And this is the difference between playing somebody I know how to knows how to play then because it's very not predictable in a bad way, but more like I know his plays are gonna likely make some kind of sense. And so he's keeping Cinderace in the back, knowing that, well, I'm not gonna deal with his Hatterene very easily. And so because I'm aware of that, for us to, yep. You should see him or Mystical, right? Should Mystical hard. And so now because his Hydreigon took that damage, he has nothing to switch in on Power Ball now. He might live. I'm thinking if he lives, I don't think Side Shot can kill Cinderace from here. Yeah, I didn't think so. So that's a pretty big hit there. There comes the Hydreigon. So now he has to commit to rocks. So Rillaboom's a huge problem now. When Rillaboom comes in, it's a bloodbath. And so here, if I were my opponent, you know, obviously Hydreigon can come in. Dark Pulse did 35, so he can't pivot back to high. He could for leftover purposes. My lander. Let's see. I'm thinking my Cinderace. He could pivot to Cinder. Let's see what he does though. So it's Lando, which is better. It's better that I pivoted to Hydreigon. So his Hydreigon comes in, makes sense. You have to. And now he has to heal this. So I pivot back to Hatterene. He actually EP'd. Is there a drawback to going for draining? No. There's none. Magearna comes in, that's perfectly fine by me. Now he Volt switches pretty confidently. He Ice Beam though. So this is a free Fleur Cannon. As much as Cinderace is likely going to come in, he's trying not to have any damage on Cinderace. It's a free Fleur Cannon. He's going to get to the point where he can't guard against. He gives me Hat, excellent. So now I can get up rocks, which is important. Obviously, Power Ball can come out here, but his isn't adamant. His is not adamant. So Kiram, let me run this calc. What kind of Hydreigon is it? 366 HP. Okay, doke. Because what I'm trying to do, now that I've positioned it the way it is, if Cinderace comes in, it gets a kill every turn. And obviously he doesn't want that. That's why he doesn't want to sack Lando. But I still have my Hatterene and my Hydreigon. So it's going to be pretty difficult. Oh, so this is like a set. Okay. Cinderace. OU offensive pivot. Jolly. Choice band. Unless he changed it from band, but I doubt it. Powerball does 40 to 47 to this Hydreigon set. 40 to 47. That's probably in his favor. Let's see how much Landorus is taking. Landorus steering form. OU defensive is taking. That's without Intimidate, I'm sure. Fireball's doing 40 to 49. Okay. How's it going? Okie doke. Lando's too important. Actually, he's not choiced. Oh, he has U-turn. Okay. So now I think he has to EP, but if I get the play right after this, I get a KO. I think he has the Earth Power here. But Magirna's literal purpose on this team is to take this on. I guess, yeah, the double to Cinderace makes sense too. Pyro. Okay, I guess he's gonna keep doing the same thing. He pyroed there though, which I think was a misplay. So now you give me rocks. Unless he goes hard Hydreigon, which gives me the free switch. He goes Lando. He knows I have to go to Hatterene here, which is why I'm gonna go to Rilla. Rilla gets a kill when it comes in. If no, that's not true. Not if he Curums. If I go Hatterene on him here, he loses a Mon. I don't think he can afford it. Well, he doesn't lose a Mon, but it puts him in an awkward spot. Rillaboom is getting to the point where he'll be able to Grassy Glide away. I just don't know how I'm going to get damage on Cinderace. And again, he doesn't know I don't have U-turn, which is why he switched hard last time. So, if he U-turn, this gives me the least risk. Push come to shove, I'll defog. If he U-turns, he gets the momentum back with Cinderace, but he knocks, which is actually not horrible for me. It's not horrible for me if I U-turn here, which doesn't. There's very little reason for me not to, because if I U-turned out, I go to Hatterene on his potential rocks. So this is interesting right here because I have so many options, right? Obviously, we're gonna go the thing that he guards the least against. High jump kick has no drawback other than, you know what, I don't want to say it out loud. Helmet was knocked off, and I don't want him getting a potential switch into Cinderace as a mid ground. Please Cinderace, please, thank you. Bless up Cinderace. And so obvious choice Scarf. Let's just give up our Hydreigon here as he finally Volt switches. But I'd never go into, because Cinderace is still a problem. That's why I'm keeping my Landers at the utmost of health. So I'll give him this here. This Dark Pulse. That sucks. I was gonna Earth Power too. As he goes for that. Man, if I Earth Powered there, I actually won with Rillaboom. So, man, I wish I had U-turn here. If he stays in, he goes for, doesn't matter what he does. Hydreigon comes in, yeah. I can't do shit about that. What can he guard against? Cinderace as usual. If he goes to if he goes to, let me think. If I go to Hatterene here, I have to predict between Cinderace and his Magirna, and he gets some advantage. If I go hard Cinderace and he attacks, I die. If I go hard Magirna and he doubles to Cinderace, that's a problem. But what even covers that Cinderace double? I don't have anything to cover that Cinderace double. Unless the Cinderace, he has U-turn, Power Ball. Unless the Cinderace does not have Gunk Shot. He's doubling the Cinderace here. Can I win without Lando versus that Cinderace? No. Okay, I'll let him double. Fine. He defogged. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So I get to Volt Switch here then, because it invites back the Cinderace. Solid play with the Magearna. I am adamant. Let's run this calc. Rillaboom. Oh, you no choice ban. We ain't that powerful. Nice chill drive. Magearna. No HP, right? Grassy Glide does 23 to 27. So minimum kills him. Kyurem coming in would be annoying. I should double to Magearna there, but if you Volt Switch, it would have been whack. So Cinderace comes in. Upside is that when Lando attacks this next turn, something dies. I like to have the Grassy Glide because he could what's it called, change his typing at some point, and I want to be able to Grassy Glide. So at this point, who do I give up? Hatterene beats everything, kind of. Cinderace beat everything, kind of. Whew, this is a tough one. My thing is, what if the Cinderace does not have my Cinderace? He can't guard against my hat. I can't guard against my Magearna. I'll give him hat. Probably should have given him Rillaboom if I'm honest, but yeah. How many Powerballs does he have? He has one left, so he can't even beat Lando after this. So as long as I connect, I kill one of the two remaining Pokemon. He hates HAKs, which is smart. Now he has to commit to Powerballing. Should have sacked the Rillaboom. Wonder what his other move is. Probably Gunk Shot, or it could be Zen. So yeah, like Powerballing here would be pretty bad for me. I don't think he ever Powerballs here though. Let me think the positions, possible positions. Rillaboom, Grassy Glide, Magearna coming in, Floor Cannon, can't be guarded against. What would he need? The amount of damage he's doing, he might be adamant too. Powerball. I don't think he ever Powerballs here, as I said. I might give up Rilla. I think I should have just sacked the Rilla, to be honest. But commits the last Powerball, which is great for Lando, as I said. And so it'll depend on what his other move is. I mean, it could be Sucker. If that's the case, then let's see, U-turn. I don't have U-turn. He knows I don't. He doesn't know I don't have U-turn. Well, he's seen Stone Edge. Let's say he goes Hydreigon, sacks that, goes back to Cinderace. Cinderace can't touch me. Ooh, it didn't kill, which is a big deal. I'm surprised he healed. I think that was a misplay. I think that was a pretty important misplay. So he's committing to this. Okay, fair enough. Does put me in a spot where, you know what can happen. Ideally, he thinks I have U-turn and go hard to Cinderace, but then I just get the land of switchback. I put myself in that position. The thing about it is, if he went to Cinderace on my mag, and if he went Cinderace on my mag, and then I and I Fleur Cannoned, it wouldn't kill him, and then he could 2 KO whatever I went to. So the game's not over. It's not over, but it's unlikely. Ooh, this is a 50-50. It's a 50-50. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because the Kyurem can only lock itself into one move. Do you predict me to Stone Edge here and go to Kyurem? Or do you go for the roll? But even after that, it's a prediction. So I have 2 shots here. I can Earthquake and then predict the Kyurem to not Ice Beam. Or whew. So guys, this is the situation, right? These are the options. I can Stone Edge, he stays in and attacks and he wins. I could Earthquake, he stays in and attacks, loses. He could U-turn, go into Kyurem. Well, actually, that might be what he thinks. But if he U-turns, goes to Kyurem, and I go to Mag, and then I vote. Oh my, there's so many options here. It's just a question: does he know about all these options? And I'm gonna respect him as a player, because he's a solid player, right? And I'm gonna assume that he's gonna U-turn out here into Kyurem. I'm gonna have him go to Kyurem. Nah, that's too complicated. Yes, Sucker Punch. Ooh, I did not know he had Sucker Punch as it. So it was the game. The way I was supposed to win this game was with the way this game was supposed to be won then was with Hatterene. He didn't have Gunk Shot on the Cinderace. So I misplayed by not sacking Rillaboom. But again, I allowed my situation to be with a situation where Cinderace had to KO. There were a lot of things to consider there, but it was a very, very good game. Bittersweet, you know. Should have been a game to win. But the sweet part is I don't want him to get knocked down, because I know he's been grinding to get up to #1. So win-win, as we're gonna grab the next one. What a game. What a game. It's always fun to run into somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah, the Cinderace. So by the way, he gave me this team, as I said. So his Cinderace has Gunk Shot. So I'm thinking, well, if Gunk Shot is his last move and he has Hatterene, and if I have Hatterene left, so basically, but in hindsight, I don't think saving Rillaboom was ever the decision. I think I got paranoid about, well, no, there was a situation where Rillaboom was the decision. If the Cinderace was Gunk Shot and it changed its typing, it would have been useful to have Rillaboom to revenge. If it was Gunk Shot, then it would made more sense to sack Hatterene. Because if I kept Hatterene over the Gunk Shot, then... But then again, there's too many things to consider. I think the only thing that sucked was just the high jump kick miss. As you can see, it really turned the tide of the game. Because he'd have been 1 mon down there, and I had far more sacks. But nah, what a game. A lot of fun. So we're gonna hop into this one. Let's see, Hatterene. can do some things. Pretty dangerous. I just have to get rid of Heatran, which annihilates me. But he gets annihilated by Cinderace under Sun. Rillaboom is pretty useless, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage. And this is usually what people say. So in case I lose, I'm gonna just say your team was scary. That's the trick right there. Man, what a game. I really enjoyed that game. Let's see. Landorus is gonna be really critical. Landorus plus Cinderace. Dragon. So phase one Lando is a Roxcliffe. And Scarf Lando. Is that what's going on here? This could be one of those trick ones. Those are pretty annoying. Mag being at full matters a lot. Like meaning keeping itself as I don't like explosion. Don't like explosion at all. It's actually not an easy game. That's why I laughed when you said the team matchup thing. Yeah, this is the thing that I want to get tricked the most. Because as I said, Rillaboom. Oh, he's scarfed. He gave me a choice scarf. What a nice guy. So pure upside here. Because I can U-turn out into Cinderace. He's either gonna go for Flamethrower Trick or Moonblast. Under terrain, Cinderace about to go brazy. Yep. And so I'm gonna punish this Landorus if he's feeling wavy. If it's Scarf, then no. Torkoal gets punished under Sun too. Please hit. Nice. So I can never have Heatran coming in here ever. I could never allow that Heatran to come in. I'm a Hydreigon. He's a Hydreigon. I think you never Fire Blast here. You always predict for Clef. Full switch. Interesting. If he has the fire move, this would be the opportunity to use it. My thing is that damn Tran, you know. No downside to really Fleur Canning in here though. Please hit. Yes. So sorry. Not much downside to Fleur Cannoning there. If this is Specs or Scarf, I can't have Hydreigon hard come in. So I'm gonna have to give up a Pokemon. If it is that, then CM Hatterene can really mess him up down the line if I rid him of his Sun. And so since it's Bandit Clef, Cinderace can always deal with that. I'm gonna give up the weakest link to my team in Rillaboom. Allow him to Eruption, so be it. I still don't know what he is. I'm debating. Hydreigon has easier pivots than, I guess technically not, because the Clef is banded, and so if the Clef comes in, I get to go Cinderace. I could pivot back to Tran, but as I said, if he does that again, if he does that again, I punish it, and I can Zen here, which covers Lando and Heatran. But if he Moonblast, ooh, you'll never know. You'll never know. Torkoal gets to a KO. That's what I'm talking about, Cindy. Cindy! Shout out to Jimmy Neutron. So the obvious U-turn here, but that's not as important anymore. Actually, that's a lie. That Venusaur is still a threat. Because I was gonna say it's not as important anymore to keep Magearna, but I don't think I can get around that Heatran coming in. other than staying in here and zenning again, which I'm not the biggest fan of. That Heatran is gonna come in, so be it. So be it. If he brings it in, I know he's Scarf, but he doesn't know if I'm Scarf, so I could see him potentially going hard to Clef, or hard to Clef. I just realized that I'm not max defense, which actually matters in this one, because if his Clef is some kind of speedy, because it took a ton from my Zen Headbutt, so it's clearly no HP, so it might be like offensive Scarf, you know, catching things off guard. But at this point, I'm setting it up to where Hydreigon is gonna win by itself, because it kills Torkoal, it kills Heatran. It's gonna beat Venusaur once the sun goes away. Clef is too low, and Landorus can only U-turn. I can roost that off. So, and then the Clef can never do anything because Cinderace always comes in. So there's the Venusaur to scout. Makes sense. So we have to EQ first on the growth. So I said it's gonna be a problem. Giga Drain. Orb. Oh man. Oh man. And so he has a combination of either Earth Power or, since this is modern OU, I'd assume Earth Power would be what they'd run. Earth Power, it could be Earth Power Weather Ball, it could be Earth Power. Basically, if he doesn't have Sludge Bomb here, we good, kinda. If he does have Sludge Bomb, we not good. If Earth Power is his other move to hit Mag. Am I clinging to Hatterene too much? I think so. So it is Weather. It's Weather Ball. Okay. Which is where I can bluff Sucker Punch here. If I bluff Sucker Punch, he will... What would he have to do? So this is where we're going to find out if he has anything to hit Hydrate. If he has Sludge Bomb. Again, because Heatran is now an OU, they'll tend to run Earth Power. So he only has Giga. Yeah, I figured. Okay. It's not amazing, but now I know Hydreigon walls almost everything left. And he's not Scarf. Well, he could still be Scarftran. That's not true. So I get the Volt Switch here. Let him Weather Ball. It's not amazing, but I can manage. Since I know Hydreigon outspeeds and beats. Hydreigon coming in here means a KO. Yeah, Hydrate's the most unguardable. I want him to go Clef too and stack that. So this is a real incentive for doing that. Excellent. Because I don't want to have to predict this Clef at some point down the line. Because now this just sits, you know? Yeah. And if it's Scartran, I eat. If this has Explosion, though, I would lose. Let me see, Earthquake. I think. No, it's better to actually Lando than, because I can he can U-turn and I roost it off, or I don't want a ton of damage on this. Like positionally, this leaves me in a great spot. Right, because he commits to the Venusaur, I KO it. If he goes back to Lando, that doesn't really hurt me too much. But now I know he can't growth at all. If he goes back to Landorus, I get to Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock knock, like there's just several options. But commits to the Venusaur, Life Orb, that's gonna knock him out. That Heatran is specs the way he's playing. Not confident with it at all. So after this, if it's Scarf, I get to thinking. If he's Scarf, thinking what position? What can this Tran have anything that could make me lose? Let's say he knocks me out here and he's Choice Scarfed. Then I go Hydreigon and Dark Pulse. That's the thing. I don't know if no, I don't need to Dark Pulse. I don't need to Dark Pulse. I think I just win here. Okay, so he's not specs. Okay, GG. He specs. Okay. Yeah, he just Stone Edge repeatedly. It's no real. There's nothing he could lock himself into to win the game. He's just not there to finish this game off. So yeah, that's gonna be the live. What, two really clutch close games today. We are, I think, 1933. So it makes sense, the battle quality. Though this guy I think was a 1766. But super close game. I do think there are some things I probably could have done to kind of close it out. But as I said, so many options in that end game, right? Sucker is something I didn't consider. I thought for sure it would be Gunk Shot, so I don't regret my Landers play there. Nor do I even, when I look back, even the Cinderace to a degree. If I stayed in there, knocked him out, he'd have Kyurem. He'd have Kyurem and his own Cinderace left. I think the biggest part was just determining whether to sack Rillaboom or to sack Hatterene. And had I sacked Rillaboom, which I think may have been the better bet, in all honesty, because I guess Cinderace would have to connect with Gunk Shot too. And I think when Hatterene is at full, it never dies with that spread. So all these things I should have considered, if I'm honest. But it's awesome learning experiences. I had a blast, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit the like button. Peace.